Manchester United 1. Two goals from Igor Diogo, Matheus Jansen and Benjamin Sesko. So it is back to square one again for Man United after a win last time out versus Chelsea. It's back to the drawing board, another loss for them, and a pretty humbling one too. They were completely battered by Brentford in this game, and it was really the same old story for them. Absolutely shocking defending for pretty much all three goals, and then they've had a chance to get back into the game with Bruno Fernandes getting a penalty and they missed it. But yeah, this is a really bad loss for Man United. I think the only bright spot here is Sesko did manage to get a goal, which is good for his confidence, I guess, but this is bad. And yeah, Ruben Amorim, for me personally, I think it's only a matter of time. It's not if, it's when he's going to get sacked at this point now, because it's just clear it's not going to work. This system just doesn't suit these players. These players are incapable of playing his system, and he is not going to change his system to accommodate them. So, it's not going to magically just click overnight. It's simply not going to work. Again in this game, shocking defending. Like, why is Maguire the last man? I do not have any idea. Shocking goalkeeping for the last goal as well. Bruno misses a pen just to add to the misery, and overall he was rubbish. Amram as well, the substitutes. I mean, what on earth was going on? Like, at one point Mount was playing wing back, then Embuemo was, then Mainoo was playing midfield, then Xerxes playing 10, then it was just chopping and changing everywhere. And I thought Brentford deserved the victory here. United, yeah, this is not good. I believe the next game before the international break is Sunderland, and if he loses that, honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was sacked, because yeah, it's another disappointing defeat, a disappointing performance for United. And you thought maybe after the Chelsea game they might be able to build upon that, but no, clearly not. Now I will say that I thought Brentford were fortunate not to get a red card here, because that penalty, it was a penalty, and I thought it was the last man. I thought, we'll compare that to the Chelsea game. I don't see really too much of a difference between that one and the red card in the Chelsea game, which we'll get on to. So, I do think United got a little bit hard done by there, but still, you can't really be doing that excuse. And shout out to Brentford, because that was a really good performance from them, and a big win for them to recover from that loss to Fulham. Right, speaking of that Chelsea game, Chelsea 1, Brighton 3. Oh boy, goals from Enzo Fernandez, 2 goals from Danny Welbeck, a goal from Maxim de Kuiper, and a red card for Trevor Chalobah. And I mean, literally just copy and paste what I said about Chelsea last week versus Man United and put it into this, because it was the exact same rubbish from us again. Now, we actually looked okay with 11 men. We started the game off pretty well. It was a nice goal scored by Enzo Fernandez. We were doing pretty decent. Things were going okay, and then bozo moment, and mistake cost us here. Andre Santos absolutely stitches up Chalobah, and Chalobah, very clumsy, dives in, gets the red card. Back-to-back red cards now. Now, I was thinking, okay, we're down to 10, this is not good, but, we were down to 10 last week. Maresca obviously messed things up with the changes and stuff. Hopefully he's learned his lesson. Hopefully, we just had a whole game playing with 10 men. We should be a bit better now playing with 10 men, and we should actually be able to manage this. We're 1-0 up here, trying to see through this victory. Nope, because literally from that point on, from the red card onwards, we got absolutely battered. destroyed in this game after that Jalaba goal, and it was the same old rubbish. Enzo Maresca makes defensive changes, goes to a back five, plays a 5-3-1. I understand we got the lead, but again, I said it first, I didn't want to say it again. When you do this, you're just inviting wave after wave after wave of attack. You need some respite, you need some sort of attackers, you need some sort of pace to get you out of trouble, to win you a foul, clip a ball in behind, give Brighton something to think about. But no, took off all our attackers, don't bring on Garnacho and Gittins again, and instead we just invite Brighton to attack us, and our defence is simply not good enough to cope with that. And we were punished, and we lose 3-1. Yeah, same old problems here, individual bozo mistakes, and then poor game management from Enzo Maresca in this one has completely cost us this game, and we chucked away the points in this one. Completely self-imploded. It's been really the story of our season so far, just mistakes, errors. It's not good enough. It really isn't. And yeah, I'm quite annoyed by this Chelsea team because we ain't challenging for the league if we're gonna keep making mistakes after mistake after mistake every single game. It's not good enough. Next up, Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1. Goals from Ismail Assar, Eddie Nketiah and Federico Chiesa. So, the champions lose their first game of the season here to Crystal Palace in a really, really good game, and to be honest, this was completely deserved by Palace, because that first half honestly could have been about 3 or 4-0 to Palace. They absolutely battered Liverpool in that first half, 4 big chances, and if it wasn't for Alisson, they, like I said, could have been 2 or 3 goals up. Second half, Liverpool were much improved, and clearly Slot said some things to them, because they did limit the chances that Palace had, and they posed much more of a threat. And then Liverpool got that late goal, and you're thinking, okay, they've done it again, another late goal. But then Palace strike in the 97th minute, Eddie Nketiah with that goal to give Palace to win. And yeah, like I said, I think it was deserved. I don't think Liverpool, I know they have some problems with it should have been a corner for the goal. It shouldn't have been a corner for the first goal. Too much added time. But let's be real here, the performance Palace put in, they deserve that victory. And they got a little bit of luck going their way. Crystal Palace is now, I think, 18 games unbeaten. They are the only unbeaten side remaining in the Premier League this season. What a start to the season they have made. A huge victory here, and what a job Glasner is doing. As for Liverpool, to be honest, this result, I think most of us were sort of knew this result was coming. The way Liverpool have been playing can't really be sustainable, because they have sort of been lucky in bailing themselves out time and time again. They almost did it, but in the end it didn't work out. And yeah, I think something seriously need to change, because that first half was one of the worst halves I think I've seen from Liverpool. It was absolutely awful, and yeah, like I said, I think this result was sort of coming for Liverpool and Slot, and now it's about, maybe it's a bit of that wake-up call they needed it, but they can't just sort of coast through these games and rely upon these late goals and stuff. They need to seriously step up their game here, because that was not great, particularly the first half. Second half was alright. Next up, Leeds 2, Bournemouth 2. Goals from Joe Rodon, Sean Longstaff, Anton Semenyo and Ellie Junior Groppy. So another late goal in this game here as well. Junior Groppy with a 93rd minute equaliser to deny Leeds to win here, and this is a really good game actually. Draw was, I think, a bit harsh on Leeds, because Leeds had plenty of chances but they just couldn't put them away. I mean, Calvert-Lewin had a stinker in front of goal. He had plenty of chances in this game, but couldn't put them away. And Leeds were punished. I think that's sort of a brutal nature of the Premier League. Really, you don't take your chances, and you're gonna get punished. They should have killed the game off, but didn't. And then later on, Bournemouth grabbed that goal. Nice moment for Groby, the youngster there. There was a really weird goal as well with Semenyo's goal. Like Aronson was lying on the floor for the free kick, but he just wasn't like long enough. Maybe they need to choose someone with longer legs next time. But yeah, look, I actually thought Leeds' performance was really good. Actually, they outplayed Bournemouth for large portions of this game and matched them in terms of physically. They did really well. I think Leeds in general have been pretty decent so far this season. They'll be very disappointed if they didn't get the win, but a point against Bournemouth for Leeds is a pretty good result. Manchester City 5, Burnley 1. 2 own goals from Maximus Dev, a goal from Mateus Nunes, a brace from Erling Haaland, and a goal from Jadon Anthony. So Manchester City thump Burnley here 5-1. Although, I mean, that scoreline is a little bit misleading because for most of the game it was actually quite a close game, and Burnley did frustrate City for a lot of the game. It was just sort of towards the end. I mean, City scored 2 goals for 90th minute really, and Burnley were quite unfortunate in this game. Maximus Dev, an absolute stinker. He had a 1.8 rating. He scored 2 own goals, and for Haaland's last goal as well, he was at fault. Him and Ekdal tried to head the same balls. He was pretty much at fault for 3 goals there as Steph. A real stinker from him. But I think Burnley were actually quite unlucky there because they had 3 goals there which were purely just errors. And I think for large portions of the game, like I said, they did manage to frustrate City, but City's quality shined through. Haaland grabbing another brace. Jeremy Doku though, wow, he was fantastic, and this season Doku has really stepped it up. I think I tipped him at the start of the season to be like the most improved player, and I'm quite happy with my prediction so far because he has been really good. Feels like he's sort of not been used as this touchline winger anymore. He's been allowed to come inside a little bit more, and we're starting to see the best of him in this game. Absolutely good. Kyle Walker was causing problems the entire game, and that's a couple games in a row now where he's done really well. So a good win for City here. They'll definitely take it. Burnley shouldn't be too disheartened though. Next up, Nottingham Forest 0, Sunderland 1, goal from Omar Alderete, and a massive victory here for Sunderland, their first away win of the season I believe, beating Nottingham Forest here, and what a victory for Sunderland. They were fantastic. They defended so well in this game. It was a pretty even game. Sunderland, as I said, defensively really good. Their goalkeeper again, Robin Rufes though, he's been absolutely superb, I must say. This season he's been maybe the best keeper I reckon so far this season in the league, because he has saved Sunderland time and time again, and yet again in this game made some crucial saves. Granit Xhaka I thought was really good as well. Yet again, he has been a really good signing for Sunderland. Him and Noah Sadiki has been great as well. Sunderland defensively were fantastic, managed to get their goal from a set piece, and then from that point on just contained Forest. Forest really couldn't break them down, and it's a massive win for Sunderland. Yet again, the promotion side's doing really well and looking really sharp. As for Forest, it's a disappointing loss against Sunderland, but I'm going to keep saying this actually about Forest because I do believe this. I think that they are game on showing better signs of progressing underhand. Again, and they showed some really good signs in this game. They did struggle to break down that low block that Sunderland put up, but that was a big problem for them under Nuno, and it's going to take some used to that. Take some time to get used to playing under Ange, but again, I thought actually, even though they lost this game, there were signs of improvement from Forest, and I think their performances are getting better slowly. The only issue is that the results are not getting better, and sooner rather than later, Ange is going to need to get a win under his belt, because I believe he hasn't won a game yet. So the performances are getting better here, but Forest need to start picking up points quickly. Otherwise, I'm sure the fans aren't really going to care about the performances getting better. Next up, Tottenham 1, Wolves 1, goal from Joao Palhinha and Santiago Bueno. Joao Palhinha saves Spurs here and rescues a point for them in this game. A late one, 94th minute goal there. But I want to give a massive shout out to Wolves here, because heartbreaking they couldn't hold on to the win, but I thought their performance was absolutely superb. And I think this sort of performance, this result has actually been coming for Wolves. I've consistently said in the 5 games previously when I've done these reviews that Wolves have been really unfortunate to have 0 points so far this season, because I don't think their performances have been that bad. I've said in the last few weeks I think they've been getting slowly better, and finally they sort of put together a really strong performance here. Defensively, they cut out the errors for most part. They dug in, they played counter-attacking football really, really nicely, and they almost got the result, which I think would have really kick-started their season. Unfortunately, they got a draw, but still, that's a really good result, and that's a really good point for Wolves. And like I said, hopefully this can kick-start their season a little bit and give them a bit more confidence in what they do. As for Spurs, not great, but look, I think these sorts of games, given how good Spurs have started this season, I think some people sort of are going to clown them for drawing this game. At the end of the day, I think we all need to realise that Spurs are still a work in progress here. They still have a lot of making up to do, given how bad they were last season. And I think again, you saw in this game, there were elements of Thomas Frank's game here, but they struggled to create chances. They struggled to break down Wolves, and you can see that this is going to take some time for Spurs to get better here. So luckily they did manage to get a point. Not a great result still, but I mean, look, like I said, Spurs are still a bit of a work in progress. Okay, next up we have Villa 3, Fulham 1, goals from Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, Ebi Buendia and Raul Jimenez. So, Villa finally get a win this season, their first win of the Premier League, beating Fulham here 3-1. A really crucial victory for them, given how poorly they've started this season. Getting that win was absolutely huge. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite an even game, and they really just sort of blitzed Fulham here. Those 2 goals just in quick succession at the start of the second half came out of nowhere really, and then from that point on, Villa didn't really offer too much. And it was quite an even game. It really could have gone either way, this one. I don't think either side were particularly great, but I don't think Emery or Villa fans are going to care really, because for them it was just about getting that first win over the line and getting some confidence in the squad and the fans, and that's exactly what they did. So they're going to be really delighted with this victory. Ollie Watkins as well, again, really good for his confidence, getting a goal, really well taken goal as well. And nice one for Villa here. Fulham though, not great, really poor performance. Unfortunately for Fulham, Raul Jimenez scored and then got injured straight away, and Muniz is also injured, so they didn't really have a recognised strike, and you could see how that hurt them a little bit in this game. But I thought Josh King was really good, the youngster, but overall Fulham just really lacked any creativity, particularly after Villa took the lead. Fulham couldn't break them down, and this was a huge, huge victory for Arsenal. Absolutely massive, because it looked like they were on course to lose this game, and we could have, I guess, questioned Arsenal in these big games. That would have been a loss to Newcastle, loss to Liverpool, draw versus Man City, and it would have been sort of the same old issues with Arsenal, really. But then they completely turned it around here late on. Marino in the 84th minute gets the point, and then in the 96th minute, Gabriel there with the goal, and that is just a huge win for Arsenal away from home against Newcastle, a team which have really got the better of them over the last couple years. To get one over them is really nice, really good for the confidence, and winning it that late on in that fashion, I think is going to do a great deal for Arsenal. And I will say as well, their performance in general was really good. It was much better than the performances we've seen over the course of this season. They, in the first half, I thought were very unlucky to be 1-0 down. I thought they were the better side. They had some good chances, and overall they did threaten Newcastle quite a bit. I do think as well it was quite harsh to overturn that penalty. Gyökeres on Pope, or rather the other way around. I don't think it was conclusive enough to say that was like a clear and obvious error there, but it is what it is. Arsenal pick up the win. As I said, massive victory for them, especially with Liverpool dropping points as well. As for Newcastle though, really disappointing to jug that game away, really. So late on, sort of similar to what happened against Liverpool as well. That game management, that switch staying on till the final whistle is blown, is a bit of a problem for Newcastle there. Shout out to Waldemar though, who did manage to get himself a goal, which is nice for him, but also shout out to Pope. Pope was really good. I also thought Malik Chow was really good, but yeah, not good for Newcastle. And also Livramento seemed like he picked up a really serious injury and could be out for a while, which is not good. But yeah, Newcastle will be very frustrated. You can't really be losing the game when you're 1-0 up in the 84th minute. Can't really be doing that, but yeah. Anyways, let's oh wait, actually one thing I want to do is, so I made a video where I made like bets for the weekend. I want to look and see how I did on those bets. So what I said that one of the Brentford centre-backs would score against United, which they didn't, but they did actually come close. Vandenberg and Nathan Collins were very close to scoring. Bindeer made some good saves, but I did back Collins to get a shot, and he did have a shot, so that did win. I said under 2.5 goals in the Palace Liverpool game. I mean, we were like 1 second away from being correct there, which is very unfortunate. I said Bournemouth would keep a clean sheet versus Leeds. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. No, this one I did actually get right. I said Carl Walker would get a card. He did get a card. I did say he would commit 2 fouls. I believe he only did 1 though. Yeah, 1 foul. And also said Jaden Anthony would win 2 fouls, which I believe he did. Or yeah, there we go, 2 fouls. Jaden Anthony did win 2 fouls. And I said that Newcastle would keep a clean sheet, and well, yeah, to be fair, we were like 6 minutes away from that being right, but that wasn't, so we didn't actually do too bad on those bets. Anyways, I want to wrap up with some European football stuff, because there was actually some really big results across Europe this weekend. So in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich won yet again, this time 4-0 versus Werder Bremen, and it was a big one for Harry Kane because he got another brace, which brings him to his 100th goal for Bayern Munich. I believe that is 100 goals in just 108 games, which is, I think, the fastest someone has ever done. So 104 games actually. Yeah, I believe that was the fastest someone's ever got to 100 goals in Europe's top 5 leagues for one club. So Harry Kane for this season, that is now 10 goals in 5 Bundesliga games. He is ripping up the Bundesliga right now. There was also a crazy game I wanted to talk about here. 6-4 Frankfurt Gladbach. 10 goals in this game. And the scoreline suggests it was a close game, but actually Frankfurt were 6-0 up after the 47th minute, which was pretty mental. Then Gladbach just made it a bit of a respectable scoreline towards the end, but don't know what the hell's happened there. Frankfurt, though, are like maybe the most exciting team to watch in Europe right now. Look at their look at their goals. 6-4, 4-3, 5-1, 3-1, 3-1, 4-1. Like, it's just goal central whenever Frankfurt play. I want to go over to La Liga because there was a Madrid derby actually that took place, and it was another massive shock. 5-2 Atletico Madrid beat Real Madrid in this game on the weekend. Julian Alvarez scored another amazing free kick. He is generally one of the best free kick takers in the world, I reckon. But Madrid, well, Atleti smack up Real Madrid here 5-2. Xabi Alonso's first loss in the league this season, and a bit of a wake-up call for Real Madrid here. This was really his first test, Xabi Alonso, and massively failed, but a huge win for Atletico Madrid, because their season has been quite bad, but that is exactly what they needed to kickstart it. Now Barca, before I start this recording, we're still playing, but that game actually ended 2-1 here. Lewandowski with the winner here. Yamal apparently came back from injury and did very well in this game. Got the assist for Lewandowski's goal, so Barca get the win there. Over in Serie A, there is a massive game which I think is going on right now between Napoli and Milan. Milan actually already up here, 1-0 in this game. Juve drew to Atalanta, late goal here, the 78th minute. Cabal, a draw there. Roma picked up another victory, 2-0 winners there. And we'll see if there's anything in League 1 to talk about. PSG 2-0 winners. Yeah, Lyon managed to beat Lille, but yeah, those were the results across Europe. Those were results in the Premier League. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did,